Hello and welcome to Talkin Sports with TK. I am Tommy Chrysan. Glad to be here. Glad to have you there. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please share it with all of your friends. And thank you for those of you watching on YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel, Tommy Chrysan. You need to subscribe. Lots of good stuff there, including a free winning pick on the Super Bowl coming up on Friday. You'll be able to get that. This episode is your LSU Baseball Weekly Update brought to you by Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. And we're going to talk about the 2021 season. We're going to talk about the schedule, the attendance requirements, and things that LSU has put out, some preseason recognition for the team and a lot of the players. All of that brought to you by Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Connect with them on Facebook and Instagram. Not too early to book your crawfish boils. That's right. The catering service by Tremonti's is outstanding. Whether you have a small group or a large group, call now and book your crawfish boils at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood, 225-751-7665. Or better yet, connect with Tremonti's Meat and Seafood on Facebook or Instagram. You'll have all the info that you need. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood bringing you this LSU baseball update. Hey, I'm Tommy Chrysan. You need to do me a favor. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. Subscribe. That'll help out. You get lots of good stuff. And I am the oldest dude on TikTok, and it's blowing up. Blowing up, winning you money, including on the Super Bowl this weekend. The oldest dude on TikTok. Connect with me all over the place. Share it with your friends. Tell people about it. That's your homework assignment. Tell somebody about Talkin Sports with TK and the oldest dude on TikTok. Get that done for me. I certainly appreciate it. And as always, we appreciate you watching what we're doing here. We're going to take a quick break, then we're going to come back, roll into the LSU baseball update brought to you by Tremonti's Meat and Seafood in Baton Rouge. Right after this pause, stay tuned. We continue with Talkin Sports with TK. Again, I'm Tommy Chrysan, the oldest dude on TikTok. Do check that out. Free winning Super Bowl pick for you, dropping on Friday of this week. But it's time to talk some LSU baseball, brought to you by Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Thanks for listening to this podcast and the YouTube version of this week's podcast. I got a good friend helping me out with all that. I'm going to tell you more about that. There's so much more coming on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. That'll be a big thing. All right, college baseball, the LSU Tigers. Paul Mainieri is entering his 15th season at LSU. 15. That's amazing. His 39th season overall in his career as a head coach of college baseball. If the Tigers have a really good year this season, he will pass 1,500 career wins. That's remarkable. He's already in the Hall of Fame, but that'll just be added to his resume. Now, the 2021 season scheduled to get underway February the 19th. But as I told you in the previous baseball update, we live in a world of adjustments now. We all have to change because of the pandemic. It's happened in the sports world, the business world, our personal lives, families, everything. It's got to be ready to adjust. And you got to know that it can happen at the last minute. In fact, when I did the LSU update previously, the schedule has already changed significantly in terms of who some opponents are since I did that, because some teams couldn't travel, this, that, and the other, and Coach Mainieri and his staff have worked it out. You're going to see a little bit more action with local schools who know they can get here, be it Nichols, Southeastern, Northwestern State, whomever, as opposed to Army, who couldn't travel in, or a team from California. So you got to be ready. There are 56 games on the schedule, 30 SEC games. You got to know, I mean, you could have a game Friday night. It could change Friday morning. It could change Thursday evening. So just be ready for all that. And I think we all are now that we're basically almost a year into the pandemic situation. So the 2021 season, I don't know that they'll play all 56 games. In fact, if I had a bet on it, I'd say they don't. There's going to be something canceled somewhere and not rescheduled, okay? I just think that. But I'll credit the SEC and the rest of college baseball for plugging forward, putting the schedule out there and try to go ahead and do it. LSU's roster, very good. Loaded with pitching. That's the word, okay? The word is they're loaded with pitching. But it's going to matter when they start playing games, especially in the SEC, which is the toughest conference in college baseball. We know they're the toughest conference in football. They're also the toughest in baseball. Nationwide, top to bottom, there's no better conference for college baseball than the SEC. and LSU has 10 three-game series scheduled with the SEC opponents. So it's all going to be about pitching. I've always said, I'm an old baseball guy. I've always said, it doesn't matter what park you're in. It doesn't matter if the sun's out. No matter if you're playing under the lights. The guy on the mound, the guy pitching with the baseball, that's what makes the difference. And according to everybody, LSU's pitching staff is loaded. They got more arms. They got deep arms. They got guys that can throw hard, which Paul Mainieri likes. And they got one of the best pitching coaches in the country in Alan Dunn. So, it just sets up to do really well. Got some young guys that are going to be in the lineup, some freshmen, some JUCO transfers. Paul Mainieri is going to put the best 9, 10 guys, if you count the DH and the pitcher, out there to try to win a baseball game. Typically, Paul Mainieri plays around with the lineup early part of the season, trying to find exactly what he wants. And the decision gets made by the players. I mean, if you're red hot, he's going to put you in the lineup, or he's going to move you up, whatever it might be. So be ready for all that. And as we get closer to the season, we'll look more in depth at the pitching staff and what might be the starting lineup. I participated in the Zoom press conference last week with Coach Mainieri, so we'll share that when we get a little bit closer to that February 19th opener. But everybody's worried about the Super Bowl right now. Huh? What a matchup! And don't forget, I'll have a free pick for you. It'll be available here on YouTube, and I'll have a podcast with picks with Trey Blossman and Anthony Gallo and myself, and then the oldest dude on TikTok. That's the big one you got to get to. And that will be posted on YouTube, so you'll be able to check it out there. That's why you got to subscribe. All right, continuing on with LSU baseball. The big question, attendance. How many people are going to let in Alex Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field? LSU has come out and said 25% capacity, which is going to be roughly 2,500 people, maybe 2,300. Okay. LSU had approximately 50% of their season ticket holders, and they have a lot of baseball season ticket holders, opt out. Said, hey, we want out. We'll get our tickets for the 2022 season. But about 50% said they want to go to the baseball games this year. LSU's got to get to the grease board or the whiteboard and figure out how they're going to do this. They're not going to be able to let everybody in for every game. There may be some package deals where you get some high-level opponents, some low-level opponents, some midweek games, weekend games. That's for LSU to figure out. If you're a season ticket holder, you know the drill because they're communicating with you. But the general public, the guys and gals and families and the kids who just want to, hey, it's Saturday afternoon. It's a pretty day. Let's go to the LSU baseball game. You may or may not be able to get in. So follow LSUsports.net. They'll have all the guidelines and the policies are laid out there as well. And, LSU is got the greatest baseball fans in America as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure people in Arkansas and Mississippi State will argue about that. But I've been in Baton Rouge for almost 30 years now, and I'm telling you, they got fans that know what they're doing. They know baseball. They'll applaud an opponent who makes a good play. It's a great situation. And that's always been a big help to this LSU team when they're having a comeback or late in the game, they're trying to close out a win or they're trying to rally for a win. Won't be as many people, but I think everybody's kind of understands that. You just got to do what you got to do with the best that you can do on that. Now, LSU's gotten preseason rankings. I've seen 10th in the nation, 8th in the nation, 12th in the nation. Hey, it really matters. Like for LSU, you got to go to Omaha and you got to win in Omaha. Don't just go there. Some schools just want to go there. Some schools want to go to a regional. No, LSU wants to win the College World Series. They haven't done it since 2009. They want to win it in Omaha this June, provided everything goes like it's scheduled to go. But a lot of preseason recognition for the team, a lot of players, Jaden Hill on the mound. You got a lot of guys that are getting some preseason All-American and All-Conference recognition, and that's all warm and fuzzy. That's cute. I don't get into that a whole lot because what'll matter is once February 19th gets in, you start playing baseball games, and then about a month later, the SEC schedule starts. That's when it matters, okay? I'm more interested in who's the all-conference guy at the end of the year or the All-American at the end of the year. In the Major League Baseball draft, we're going to have to do a podcast just on that. That is totally different. The minor leagues have been contracted significantly. More than half of the minor league teams in our country have been cut out. And that's not only because of the pandemic. That's part of it. But baseball wanted to do that anyway. The pandemic, accelerated their plan on that to constrict the minor league teams, the number of teams, which means you got less players, which means some stay in college. Again, that'll be a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. But this LSU baseball team is expected to do very well. You know, when I talk about them being ranked 10th in the country, that's cute. That's good. Hey, nice. But you know what? 10th in the country, but they're 4th or 5th in the Southeastern Conference. I told you it was the best conference in America. So imagine that. You're 10th in the country, 5th in your own conference. Florida's number 1. LSU doesn't play Florida this year. They got the 3 teams from the East that rotate around, and Florida's not on the schedule this year. Neither is Georgia or Missouri in the regular season. Doesn't mean they wouldn't meet in the SEC tournament or postseason. Hey, I'm excited about all baseball starting, from youth baseball up to the major leagues. You know me, I'm a baseball guy. I'm very excited about all that. I can't wait to watch baseball. Huge passion of mine is listening to baseball on the radio. It could be San Diego versus Oakland. I don't care. I like listening to baseball on the radio, especially if the announcers are pretty good, and most of them are. I'm ready for baseball. I'm ready for that umpire to yell, "Play ball!" I mean, you know, we got to get it going. And hopefully the pandemic doesn't interrupt it or stop it. That would be the bad thing. It may interrupt. It may cause schedule changes and adjustments, but that's the world we live in now. But you can figure that LSU has got an excellent team on paper. They got a Hall of Fame coach in Paul Mainieri, best pitching coach in America, but Alan Dunn, greatest fans in baseball. It's a good recipe, but again, it's all about going to Omaha and winning the College World Series. And once you get to Omaha, anything can happen. Any of the teams in Omaha can get hot and win the thing. We've seen that in the past, and you know, maybe this will be LSU's year. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. But you know, stay connected with the LSU website. They'll be putting out things, social media. If a game is postponed or canceled, you're gonna know about it before some of the players might know about it. You know how that goes, okay? Hey, I appreciate you listening to this podcast, and for you good folks watching on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Lots of good stuff there, including a way for you to win money. We'll detail that when you get to the YouTube channel, but subscribe so you know when we post something. We're posting a lot of stuff there. Oldest dude on TikTok. Some of you are too old to be on TikTok. Then go to YouTube. I put the TikTok video on YouTube. You can watch it there. See, you don't have to go get the TikTok app if you don't want to. But we are really growing on TikTok, so you need to check it out. Tommy Crescent, the oldest dude on TikTok. And of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We want to again thank Tremonti's Meat and Seafood for helping put this LSU baseball podcast together. We'll have another one for you in a week or so, all getting ready for that February 19th season opener. Thank you so much. I appreciate you following, listening, liking, and most importantly, sharing whatever we're doing here. We got big plans coming up for the fall with football season, but it's about to be baseball time. Right after the Super Bowl, all attention will go to baseball in my mind. Yeah, I know they got basketball, but I'm not a basketball guy. I'm not, okay? We get into that on another day. But those of you who've been listening to me for 25, 30 years and following me, you already knew that. But maybe we got some new folks out there. Again, thanks for Tremonti's Meat and Seafood in Baton Rouge. Connect with them on Facebook and Instagram. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. I am Tommy Crescent. Glad to be here. Glad to have you there. Talk to you again real soon.